On a humid July evening in 2006, a 34-year-old father was found face down on the floor of his basement bedroom, in a small pool of blood. Within days, he was dead from massive brain injuries. Police said it started as a seizure, but the autopsy said something very different. Nearly 20 years later, no one has been charged. So what really happened to Shawn O'Brien in that tiny basement apartment on Pleasant Street? Shawn O'Brien grew up in Rhode Island, a loud laugh, working-class guy who loved his daughter more than anything. He worked as a roofer, played Keno at the neighborhood bar, and was the type of person you could hear laughing from across the room. He had flaws, past drug use, a criminal record, and seizures tied to substance use. But by the summer of 2006, he was trying to get his life stable again. At the time, Shawn was living in the basement of a small duplex at 145 Pleasant Street. Upstairs lived his landlord Armand and Armand's girlfriend Lynn. According to Shawn's family, things in the house were tense. Shawn had allegedly told relatives he didn't feel safe alone in the home and that Lynn had threatened him before. Years later, both Armand and Lynn would be considered persons of interest, though neither has ever been charged with anything related to the case. On Friday, July 21st, Shawn wrapped up a long day working on a roofing crew, picked up his paycheck, and went home. That evening, his partner Amy and 9-year-old daughter Natalia visited him. They had plans to attend a local festival, but Natalia wasn't feeling well. Instead of staying in the house, which Shawn didn't want to do, he asked Amy to drop him off at Billy's Frosted Mug, the neighborhood bar where he liked to play Keno. She agreed, not knowing this would be the last time she'd see him alive and conscious. Inside the bar, witnesses remembered seeing Shawn, but no one seemed to know exactly when he left or who he may have left with. The next morning, he didn't show up for work. He didn't call anyone. For nearly a full day, nobody checked on him. That changed Saturday evening. Shawn's sister Karen stopped by the duplex after hours of no contact. As she reached the house, Armand rushed out and told her that Shawn had been having a seizure for an hour. Karen hurried down the narrow basement stairs and found her brother lying face down on the bedroom floor, his feet toward the doorway, his face in blood and spit. At 5:51 p.m., she dialed 911. Paramedics arrived and crowded into the tiny bedroom. Shawn was unconscious, snoring with a harsh, irregular sound, barely breathing. His boxers were soaked with urine, a sign consistent with seizures, but the rest of the scene didn't fit a typical medical collapse. Blood streaked his face. Blood was dried on the floor. The bare mattress, stripped of sheets, had large bloodstains. A toe was freshly cut. Vomit mixed with blood covered the floor. Several medics later said it looked suspicious, but when police arrived, they treated it strictly as a medical call. No crime scene protocol, no evidence preservation. One officer's report even stated the room looked neat, with no signs of injury, something that would later contradict medical notes and family photographs. At the hospital, scans showed a severe brain bleed on the side of Shawn's skull, so massive it had shifted his brain off-center. Doctors rushed him into emergency surgery. Several medical professionals told the family that his injuries looked more like he had been struck in the head than that he had simply fallen. Days later, the medical examiner ruled the cause of death as blunt force trauma, but the manner of death was listed as undetermined. After Shawn was taken off life support on July 25th, his partner Amy and his sister returned to the basement apartment. What they discovered horrified them. Blood on the carpet, blood smeared on the wall near the head of the bed, 3 large blood stains on the bare mattress, a sheet balled up and hidden under the comforter, a t-shirt that looked like it had been used to clean up blood, several items missing from the room, his lamp, a hammer, an alarm clock, a set of dumbbells. Even Shawn's dog had a freshly shaved tail, raising concerns someone may have been removing blood evidence. It wasn't until 4 days after Shawn was found that police officially sealed the apartment as a crime scene. By then, people had gone in and out, laundry had been done, and crucial evidence may have been lost. Independent pathologists later reviewed the case and classified Shawn's death as homicide. His daughter Natalia began investigating on her own. uncovering contradictions in police reports, missed interviews, and inconsistencies in the early handling of the scene. She believes that from day one, the case was severely mishandled. Police documents and media reports identify Armand and his girlfriend Lynn as persons of interest. They were in the house that weekend, and their conflicts with Shawn were well known. The day after Shawn died, Lynn was arrested for assaulting Armand, though it was unrelated to the case. To this day, neither has been charged, and both maintain their innocence. Nearly 20 years later, Shawn O'Brien's death is still officially classified as a suspicious death with an undetermined manner. According to his daughter, Cranston police told her they believe Shawn was murdered and believe they know who did it, but say they lack the evidence to bring charges. Natalia continues to push for justice, demanding modern DNA testing, reclassification of the case as homicide, and a complete reinvestigation. Someone out there knows what really happened in that basement bedroom on Pleasant Street. Was it a tragic medical emergency, or a violent confrontation that someone has been hiding for almost 2 decades? Until the truth comes out, Shawn O'Brien's family is still waiting, still fighting for answers. If you have information on the suspicious death of Shawn O'Brien, contact the Cranston Police Department or submit a tip through the Justice for Shawn campaign.